Hello. Welcome. Yes, that's what I like to hear. This is the Fantasy Football Game Show presented by Front Yard Fantasy.
It's in the game.
My name's Josh. Yeah, it's in the game. My name's Josh.
My name is also Josh.
I'm here today. And JL's here today as well. And we're always here at 3 o'clock Eastern time on Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. That's Monday through Friday.
Saturdays and Sundays.
3 o'clock Eastern time. Like I said, JL and I. JL, how you feeling?
I'm feeling great. I'm feeling great.
Still no Simon today. He's eating tacos, drinking margaritas, having a good time. So don't feel bad for him.
He's just at home doing all that stuff. Yeah,
eating tacos. However, we have an awesome guest today. Our great friend from FYF, not from FYF, but everyone at FYF is a great friend with Mr. Z2. How are you doing, Z2? Listen, before you answer, I want to tell everyone they can find you. Find you on Twitter at Z2 Fantasy. He's a graphic designer for Real Deal Fantasy, Trip Play Fantasy, the Rum Boys Fantasy Network. He's the co-host of the Trip Wire podcast. Z2, how you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm just glad to be back. It's been a while. It's been a couple months since we did one of these. Ready to snipe Josh today in his mock draft. He chose a spot right next to me because he knows it's going to happen.
Z2, you're an OG. You've been here for, been in the chat for forever.
Yes, forever.
And I feel like early on when you first found us, like that was your thing. You had to come in and just like destroy Josh.
Yes.
It was like you fed off his tilt.
Well, I actually, Z2, you picked your spot in the draft first. I chose to be next to you because I want to get you back for all past times. I'm not letting this happen anymore. You're going down. My team's going to be better.
We'll see.
I'm pretty confident. But today we do have a Superflex PPR Redraft League. So it's not going to be a Dynasty League. This is going to just be for the 2022 fantasy season coming up. So it's going to be a lot of fun. We haven't really done too many of these, especially for a Superflex format. So let's see how it turns out. Again, it's just for next year. We're probably going to see some older guys go a little bit earlier than we typically see with our Dynasty drafts, but it's going to make it all the more fun. Am I right, guys?
Oh, yeah. You see the rookies go the same where they're going in Dynasty, probably.
Probably.
We're at that time in the year.
Yeah.
However, JL, I know we differ a little bit, but Dynasty, I bury those 26-year-old running backs when it comes down to it. Yeah. I know you're willing to take shots. I'm not saying you overvalue them necessarily. You're just willing to take shots, right?
Yeah. My window's a little bit farther to the right.
Exactly. But for me in redraft, this is where, I'm fine. This is 1 year, 26-year-old running backs. They're going to be used, They're either going to be used or they're out of the league. So we're going to know after this season. But we've got some awesome people, as always, in the chat. FYF, if you could, please ask Toby.
If you could.
What happened to Z1 Fantasy? Do we need to get him over?
So Toby, tell us, what happened to Z1 Fantasy?
Okay, so Z2 Fantasy Zentek is my last name, and 2 is because I'm a twin.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So Z2.
Wait,
and your twin's name is Kobe.
Z1.
My twin's name is Kobe. He could be Z1 if he wants to be, but
your mom is the GOAT for that.
That's what I was about to say. It almost implies that you're the number 2, but I know you're the number 1 around that family, right?
Yeah.
Were you born second or first?
I was born first, actually. I'm a minute older.
All right. I might start calling you Z1.
Against Kobe.
I'm older.
Little young blood.
All right. Well, Vincent in the chat said he's ready to go. Smiley face.
Makers 101.
I feel ya. Wait, is Vincent? You're in this draft? I forget what your name is for Sleeper, but I believe you are in here. Swamp, he's at work, but he cries. But he somehow still manages to get into the mock draft, with us. Thank you, Swamp. Thank you.
Dedication.
Yes. Happy Monday, everyone, from our favorite chat cat, Mr. Scampers.
Mr.
Dame.
Scamps.
Hi, everybody. How's it going, Dame? How's it going? Coming here now saying, Jones, Karen, Josh?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Same. Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly. That's what I was talking about that last night, actually. Come here. What's up, chat? Miss y'all. The guys on camera, not so much fun. Not so much. I added fun. I digress. Jay's been away. He was away in Florida at Disney World, right? The last week. We're so happy to have you back, Jay.
Yeah.
Toronto Dave saying, "Hey," Mr. Scamper saying, "Used and abused." Jay saying,
"Used and abused." I was thinking more like "use it or lose it." Was where I was circling around.
Z2, let me ask you: if you don't use it, do you lose it?
Maybe.
Oh, good answer. Great answer.
Yeah.
Well, guys, we got a lot of great people in the chat, and before we cover all of them, I think we should just start it up.
Sure.
It normally takes about an hour to get through these drafts. It's a little bit different. It's not a dynasty league, so maybe people need an extra couple seconds to think about who they're going to draft. So, without further ado, if JL and Z2 are ready, I'm ready to go.
I won't start this draft until everyone in the chat likes the video and text their mom to the link so that she can come in and also like the video and subscribe.
What a freaking way to just like lock in everyone. It's like, hey, you're gonna be sitting here until
to give me the password to the keys to the draft. Simon takes one day off drinking margaritas and all shit goes to hell. All right, I'm starting this draft.
I was about to say, like, I trust everyone. I trust our chat. I think they're really good people out there. So I believe that they're going to do that. Regardless.
I'm going to take you all for your word. Yep. I'm going to assume that you did it. If you didn't, we're done.
Then
that's it.
That's it. I mean,
we're done.
It's a karma thing. That's what it comes down. It's karma. Like, it's going to come back around and haunt you,
Yeah.
If you want to be a bad person, be a bad person.
Yeah, if you want to be a piece of garbage, be a piece of garbage.
I gotta text my mom real quick. Hold on.
Man. It's a text of my mom. Done. My man.
Remind everyone out there one more time. This is not a dynasty league. It's a redraft league, but it is Superflex. It's a Superflex Redraft League. 12 teams, PPR, Z2. You are in the 7th spot. I am in the 8th spot. JL is just going to be commentating today, but he's going to use his beautiful, lovely football and fantasy knowledge to help generate great conversation, right?
Ooh.
I just made that up on the fly.
Yeah, you did. It's beautiful. I couldn't tell at all. So let me ask you guys this. We're doing Superflex. We're doing redraft, as you said, like 6 or 7 times, Josh.
Superflex.
Superflex, redraft.
PPR.
Do you guys like playing Superflex for redraft, or do you like one QB? If you had to pick one, which is going to be?
I think I'm going to go. I think it's the new wave. I think Superflex is going to take over. It may not take over your home league, which if you like your home league more, then you may be more of a one quarterback guy. But for me, it's Superflex. I mean, it's fun. It gets every QB involved. It makes them more valuable, even though the position is so volatile in your top 12.
Yeah.
Opposed to running back and stuff like that. But in a one QB, you have guys that you can stream every week, and then 2 QB, it makes it more fun like that.
Yeah, I feel like I was initially hesitant to adopt Superflex, years ago whenever I first learned about it. And the reason was because I didn't really care for the quarterback position that much. Like it wasn't like super fun for me to evaluate quarterbacks versus the other positions. Like I preferred the other positions, but I love Superflex. And the reason for that is like simply from like a game mechanics perspective here, it adds another level of strategy that just is non-existent in one QB leagues. And so I like that there's another element, another dimension of strategy that you can employ in this format versus one QB. Josh taking Cooper Kupp.
I took Cooper Kupp. I took Cooper Kupp. Hey guys, my number one redraft wide receiver would be Cooper Kupp. JL, thanks for asking.
Is he still in his own tier?
Yes.
Okay.
Justin Jefferson, it might. Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase are probably coming after it. I mean, like it was Tyreek Hill, was Davante Adams, maybe throw Stephon Diggs up there, but like they're changing situations, and that makes me nervous. I'm not going to take them in the first round. I'm not going to consider it with them changing situations. Now, I still think they're great talents at the wide receiver position, but for fantasy football, it scares me a little bit. Cooper Kupp's my number one wide receiver by far. Personally, if you want to disagree, that's fine.
Yeah, I agree. I think it'll be interesting to see Cooper Kupp's been interesting just to see where his value is in all formats after this historic season. I'm interested to see. I don't know that he's going to do what he did last season, but a lot of things are staying the same there. So
I just saw Lamar got a new contract. I didn't even realize that yet.
You got one?
But I see people in the chat talking about it.
Why do they do the stream?
It always is during the stream.
3 and 4 always.
All right, he signed a 4-year. Wait,
what?
4-year.
Where are you seeing this?
No, well, no, that's not it.
Lamar get a contract or not?
Yeah, he's not signed. I'm not seeing it. Maybe I'm wrong.
I saw last I heard that he was waiting until next season. He's going to play out the year.
Yeah. No. That I mean, so NBA Reef said, "What should it be?" And then, okay, they're just talking with each other. I digress. Oh my lord! I was getting excited.
I'm very surprised. Oh, and
I want to see.
Come here now, maybe. I guess he's They're just answering.
He was okay. So like this is why I got confused. He said, Josh JL question, what should Lamar's contract be? The first thing I saw was 5 years, $80 million for Lamar. That's the first thing I saw. And then I saw him NBA Rig talking about the contract. I was like, oh shit, it must have happened. And I think it probably concerned Nicholas here a little bit.
What? False alarm,
coming
Nicholas.
in saying fake news, everybody, fake news. I digress.
What was like the big fake news that was the incident that we had last year? It was a Packers.
It wasn't
something
that
Packers
long
related.
ago. I feel like
someone came in and lied to us. We got tricked by a fake account.
Yeah, I digress. Lamar Jackson's still not signed. We'll see what happens.
And to answer your question, I think he should get the bag. I think he will. And I think it's smart for him to hold out.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
What do you think, Z2?
I think Deshaun Watson just set the market.
Yeah, just completely reset the market.
Yeah,
Screw the Browns. Screw what the Browns did.
I'm not saying I enjoy everything of what the Browns just did with Deshaun Watson and what they guaranteed him, but they just changed the quarterback market for these younger guys.
Yeah. Coming in now, so is the Jefferson pick right there good? I don't mind it at all. In redraft, I'm not as concerned to get these reach for the top end wide receivers in the first round, just because receivers typically aren't unless you're Cooper Kupp, Davante Adams, you're not as consistent as some of these top tier running back talent just because of the opportunity. There's going to be games where they just disappear, and there's so much depth of wide receivers. So I tend to go wide receiver in the second or third or fourth. What do you think, Z2? You like that pick there?
I enjoy it. I think Justin Jefferson is my redraft wide receiver one.
I think that's fair. Yeah, totally fair.
I mean, I do you can't say you hate Cooper Kupp. You love Cooper Kupp. I worry about Allen Robinson. I feel like he is a good receiver. He's a good complement number 2. And I feel like we could see maybe a touchdown regression coming.
Yeah. Which
we worry about every year, which is not something to predicate on him having a bad season, but I love what they're doing in Minnesota, the way they've built this team up a little bit to look competitive in the NFC North. And the NFC North hasn't gotten any better. It's gotten worse.
Yeah,
and
that's a really good point.
I think a new coach coming into Minnesota, you could see Kirk Cousins take another step this year. I mean, they trust him. They gave him the bag too.
Yeah, well, at least for this year, right?
Yes, at least for this year they did.
Let's see. We got Eric trying to catch up with these comments. Eric says Superflex is a snooze fest. I play 4 QB.
I saw that. That's actually pretty funny.
Keep gatekeeping your 4 QB leagues,
and real fast,
Eric.
When we were having the conversation about Superflex versus redraft and Dynasty, Z2 I think brought up a great point saying that it might not, overtake your home leagues, right? And when it comes to redraft, the majority of my redraft leagues have been around for years and years. And man, home leagues, some people are just so set in their ways. We just got rid of kickers in one league. That took 10 years to try to just implement. And just imagine implementing Superflex.
Still gives me grief for taking kickers and defense out of our little for home league.
I consider Derrick Henry with my pick, by the way.
That's good. I don't mind that in redraft, right? Second round pick for Derrick Henry. Yeah. I think that's a appropriate value for him.
It'll be a first round pick in, I think, non Superflex leagues in redraft next year.
Yeah. So especially as we get closer, get a little bit of distance on that injury.
Yeah.
Z2, you start out with going Joe Burrow, Davante Adams. Are you how are you thinking about Davante Adams now that he's on a new team? Are you at all worried that without Aaron Rodgers, he won't be able to perform at the same level?
I think Devonte Adams is a great receiver, and we've seen it. I know he's had Aaron Rodgers as his quarterback, but I mean, he's already played with Carr. I know it's been a while, but Carr is a good quarterback. People forget that he threw for over 5,000 yards this year, I'm pretty sure, or close to it, if not.
I think he had like the 5th most yards in the NFL or something.
So,
5th, 6th, something like
I
that.
mean, they're with Josh McDaniel there. They have a great offensive-minded coach now, and Derek Carr's going to force feed him the ball. He might not get as many of the quality targets that Rodgers got with Derek Carr as his quarterback, but he's going to get enough to still be a dominant wide receiver one.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I've always been on the side of believing in Davante Adams' talent and that it's not as attached to Aaron Rodgers. Obviously it's a downgrade, but I think he's still going to be a fantasy guy.
The person I was hoping that fell to me was CMC in the second round.
I'm sorry.
I would have taken CMC.
Yeah, I saw your face, Josh, when he got taken, and I was like, okay, he wasn't going to take it to me anyway.
Yeah,
no. I would have taken.
Vincent brings up a good point. PPR is McCaffrey or Henry. Just leaving the rebound. Yeah, I'm going McCaffrey.
I would too.
NBA Redraft asked Rodgers over Jalen Hurts. Josh, why?
When it comes down to it, it's Steelers' choice. I have infinite more faith and security with Aaron Rodgers when it comes to him versus Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, I'm right there with you, Josh. I would take him.
Yeah, and that's what it comes down to. Jalen Hurts, he's also got the rushing ability, which makes him uber valuable in fantasy, but it also maybe makes him a slight more injury concern. I mean, look at their fantasy points last year. Aaron Rodgers had more fantasy points. He played one more game, but it was close. So I'm gonna go Aaron Rodgers there. But if you wanted to go with Jalen Hurts, I wouldn't blame you.
Yeah, I wouldn't blame you either. I could see people being concerned about Aaron Rodgers not having Davante Adams. Who's he going to throw to? And maybe that. I just feel like Aaron Rodgers is at a point in his career. He's going to perform. He's going to show up regardless of who's on his team. He's going to get points.
Yeah. That's kind of how I feel.
I think bringing back Robert Tonyan and stuff will help him. He still has decent weapons. I mean, losing a guy like Adams is tough, but I think you can see Aaron Jones catch a lot more passes this year.
Yeah. They might involve both Aaron Jones and AJ Dillon more than we saw last season. And I think they're probably going to draft a wide receiver.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty likely. And Josh, I know you're on the clock and I know you want to answer this, but NBA asks, if you show Lamar the bag, are they going to be shortchanged with what they are building on the defense? Baltimore defense not doing so well this past season. I mean, of course, it takes funds away from the other positions. Yes, like that's the default. But no, I'm not as worried. He is that caliber of quarterback, that caliber of talented, and so I would much rather have someone like him than have the extra cap space and maybe a better defense.
There's a lot of injuries on that defense last year as well.
Yes, and COVID stuff, I believe.
Yes,
I think we had a lot of people out in COVID at one point. We had like most of the defense. Josh going Mark Andrews, second.
Yeah, I consider Tyreek Hill. It is what it is. It is what it is.
I like that. Oh, that's Vincent because he said Ooga Booga early in the chat, and I thought it was random, and I loved it. I was just like,
he just wants to say Ooga Booga.
What about that chaos? Ooga Booga.
I considered Tyreek Hill there. I did. One with Mark Andrews, tight end position. At the end of the day, I think Mark Andrews scores as many fantasy points as Tyreek Hill at the end of the year. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's very possible. It's very possible. Do you think, before actually we get to this question, how do you feel about Tyreek Hill with Tua? Because I know Tua's kind of polarizing. He's a polarizing player. What's Tyreek Hill's ceiling now?
Are you asking me?
Yes.
What's Tyreek Hill's ceiling? It's lowered. I don't think it's the number one overall fantasy wide receiver anymore, like it very much was with Patrick Mahomes. However, I still think he's a top 12 wide receiver. If I had to put money on it, I'm still putting him in the top 12. So the range of outcomes has changed though. They've got talent. They got Jaylen Waddle, and we just don't know. We haven't really seen Tua put together a complete season, to be completely honest. He's not Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah,
I think they're going to get him the ball in space though. He's going to be asked to do a lot. So yeah, he's going to be super involved still. They paid a lot for him. He's got
they're going to want to use him.
I think it's good value here. When it comes down to it, it probably is good value drafting him right here.
Z2, you went DeAndre Swift after Davante Adams. How do you feel about that pick? Is that right where you have DeAndre Swift in your redraft rankings?
Yeah, that's right about where I would like to take him each time. I think the Lions are an up-and-coming team. I think if he can stay healthy, he can challenge to be right around the Nick Chubb draft spot, but we know his health is a concern. But in PPR, I think he's going to catch a lot of passes. And I like the prospect of him maybe having Malik Willis as his quarterback.
Oh, that would be interesting.
So I think Dan Campbell's a great coach, and I think he's going to get his athletes the ball.
Do you guys it's kind of interesting because I feel like if this is Dynasty, DeAndre Swift is not going behind a lot of the guys that went ahead of him, like Josh Jacobs, Nick Chubb. It's unlikely. Is that match with how you guys are viewing it coming into the season? Like what's DeAndre Swift's outlook for this season? Because I think most people talk when the conversation is about DeAndre Swift, it's about his potential, his dynasty value. But just this year, what can we expect from DeAndre Swift? Josh, you want to start with you?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you're on the clock. There you go.
Not anymore. There's already. I saw that comment in the chat.
Yes, I was going to revisit it.
And I was nervous because I knew I could get Tom Brady at an amazing value just because of where he's hiding in the sleepers rankings.
That's a good. That's a good tidbit though, right? Because if you're in your draft, and it's especially home leagues where people aren't maybe mock drafting throughout the season, you're here mock drafting in the off season. Write down these players who like the ADP is way off in whatever platform you're on, and then go and see if those players fall in your real draft.
I like it a lot, Joe. I think that's good information for everyone.
Sorry to interrupt there, Josh.
When it comes down to it, I haven't really put together my redraft rankings. I did it right after the end of the season, but everything has changed so much since then. I haven't really put them together. I feel like Tom Brady is going to probably be my number 6 or 7 quarterback for the season. So getting him here as the probably 12th, 13th, 14th. I don't know how many quarterbacks have gone on the board. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13.
Welcome to Josh Counts, Front Yard Fantasy.
It's very ASMR-ish.
Yes,
people are going to be into it.
And Swamp did the assignment. Swamp completed his homework. Yay!
I didn't even.
We love your son then. If you were actually
Swamp's the man. Yes. That's so funny, actually.
Swamp is good. We gotta like send Swamp like a giant swag pack or something.
I want you guys to see the pick before mine. Ooga Booga chose Breece Hall. First rookie off the board. And I think that just goes to show how valuable people think Breece Hall is. And I'm not saying it's wrong. Now, there are situations he could find himself in where it's you're gonna be like, oh no. I hope that's not the case. But I'm just saying, like, he gets drafted by what? Let's just say, for example, what if I don't think the Titans would do it? What if the Titans drafted him? How are people going to feel about Breece Hall then? I don't think they would do it. But what if they did? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, just for example, right?
That would be
a lot of situations
such a
like
move
that.
by the Titans.
I'm not saying they would do it, but you know what I'm saying? Like, there are situations where this could happen, in my opinion.
Yes. We don't know landing spot. We are always surprised by plenty of landing spots every draft. It's a guarantee that not everybody's going to land in a great situation. So I completely agree.
We can guarantee this.
Yeah, it's not going to go exactly how we think. Let's see. Trying to get to these comments here. NBA asks, did I nail the first 3 picks? Where's Julia Jones? First one's Jalen Allen, Jalen Hurts, Josh Allen, Nick Chubb. I think it's a solid start in Superflex. I'll go with it. I like the wide receiver follow-up. What do you think, Z2?
I like it. I liked what he did with his wide receivers after they were getting Waddle in the 5th. I'm on the clock. People saw it last offseason too on my Twitter. I'm not the biggest Jalen Hurts fan.
I'm with you.
He can't throw the deep ball. I mean, they're going to get him more weapons, I assume, in this draft, at least one. And I like Dallas Goedert at tight end, but he's got to if he doesn't do it with his legs, he's not going to be a good fantasy quarterback.
Yeah, the passing volume is just so low.
Yeah.
It's definitely worrisome.
He was still, top 10 last year?
Who? Yeah. Say? Oh, yeah. Just the rushing. Yeah.
Yeah, just the rushing upside. I mean,
they also had the most rushing touchdowns on that team.
Konami code quarterbacks are what it is, but I just can't wrap myself around drafting a quarterback that just runs. For some reason, it's just me.
Yeah. Jordan asked in a really good question that I feel like most people aren't talking about. Do you guys still like Diggs? And he clarified specifically for redraft, but I think the conversation is good in both contexts. Josh, how do you feel about Stephon Diggs?
I think the conversation is probably better in a dynasty context. It's like I think it's going to be more polarized, right?
Yeah, a little bit more complex. Yeah.
Yeah. For redraft though, it still leaks over. It's just like if we think Stephon Diggs is going to be a top 10 wide receiver next year, then like why would we separate him very much from these other aging wide receivers, like Davante Adams and Tyreek Hill, which I don't think you should do. I think they're kind of in the same tier for me, and Stephon Diggs maybe even slightly higher because his situation's not changing.
Yeah.
But for redraft, I think you drafted him in the perfect spot. This is where I'm going to be taking him all day. And
would you take him over Lamb?
I would take him. They would be neck and neck for me for redraft. I would take him over Tyreek Hill, actually, believe it or not. Like he was here.
Yeah, I think the trade makes that's totally reasonable with that trade now. I think you bring up
but like, Tyreek Hill went after him already. And again, same tier as Tyreek Hill, same tier as CD Lamb for me. So, I think it's good value. It's
how do you feel about Diggs, Z2?
I mean, he's a great wide receiver. He's on a great offense with a great quarterback. Where he went is right where I would probably take him to, but I feel like he gets lumped into that Diggs, Hopkins, Keenan Allen category, which is an older wide receiver, but in redraft that doesn't matter. I mean, getting Diggs in the third would be great value last year, where you're getting him at the end of the second. So take the value on him.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Really good point. I feel like he'll most likely. I feel like he's a value every year. Every year, Stephon Diggs, people just kind of either forget about him or discount him. And Vincent saying, unlucky having an automated person before and after me. I do hate that because then they always end up like drafting the person who's at the top ADP. And sometimes it screws with your strategy. Come here now asking, is redraft standard league? So we talked about this a little bit before. It's kind of confusing, the terminology. Redraft refers to you're going to draft a new team every season. So every season, this is like your most popular format, the most, when you think of fantasy football, it's probably that redraft format. Standard is often referred to as like the scoring format, which just means non-PPR or equivalent to non-PPR. So they are slightly different. But redraft, yes, redraft is the conventional format for leagues.
Yeah, standard is just not the right terminology because just like JL said, you compare standard to PPR, you compare redraft to dynasty. It's there's so many of these like weird terms. It does get a little confusing. I consider Elijah Mitchell Z2.
Kevin Hassan, not sure if it's possible, but I can hop in on the auto draft team if needed. I don't know. Can someone told? I didn't think that you could get people out of sleeper drafts, but one of the Front Yard Fantasy guys told me that you could. I don't know how though.
Yeah, it would. I mean, it would have to be done by you, like on the main account somehow. But I don't know how you would do it either. To be honest,
you guys are seeing my screen. It just does that. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Sorry about that, Shevin.
It's. I mean, you look at that person's picks and they're not bad, either. Yeah, it's like
no.
I think they're realistic picks, more or less.
So I'll say, hecky, I'm done. I just love thinking about like what your mom's perspective and all this was. It's just like, hey, here's this YouTube channel, go watch this. And she just goes in.
Yeah, it's so funny.
What the hell is this, Swamp?
Swamp? She calls him Swamp.
That's his name. She gave him the name. She calls him that.
So at my pick right there, when I took Elijah Mitchell, I was deciding between two people, and the guy that I was deciding with went right after me.
Harris?
Michael Pittman.
What are y'all's opinions on Michael Pittman this year with Matt Ryan as his new quarterback?
Oh, I've been thinking about this a lot because I've been doing my dynasty rankings, And I keep having this like anxiety that I have Michael Pittman too high, that like this season is not going to be like last season. I don't know if that's warranted. I haven't really dug too deep into it. He's the guy there. So you can make the volume argument.
I've heard a lot of Julio Jones rumors to Indy as well.
Yeah.
That'll play into it as well, I think.
For sure. Yeah. That probably wouldn't affect my evaluation of Pittman too much personally.
For me, for Pittman, Matt Ryan doesn't change a whole lot for me. I think when it comes down to it, Matt Ryan, I think it's a wash, more or less. I actually think he's probably a little bit better than Carson Wentz, but he's older, so it's not going to help him. For Dynasty, Michael Pittman, I don't think it really necessarily helps him having Matt Ryan. I think it actually helps him a little bit having Matt Ryan this year. I know Matt Ryan's always had a touchdown problem, but again,
he only ever takes snaps in between the 40-yard lines. That's it.
Yeah.
Just gives up after that.
I think Michael Pittman's going to have similar amount of targets. The Colts have one of the best offensive lines in the league. I think it's, I took Amari Cooper ahead of him, and I still would, but again, this is the range he should be going in.
Yeah.
I like the Pittman pick. All right. Well, it wasn't you, but regardless, I like the Pittman pick.
Yeah, I like the Elijah Mitchell pick too. I think that's really good value. I feel like Elijah Mitchell, he stands out to me as someone who could be a really big value this season. Because I think a lot of people.
What the hell's going with J.K. Dobbins? Like, why?
Whoa, that was just a sleeper thing, right?
Well, no, he's here.
No,
the fact that he fell this far.
Yeah,
that's what I mean. Like, it's got to be an ADP thing.
No, he was at the.
He was at the top of the list, man.
Why weren't any of you drafting him?
I considered it, but I felt like I needed a wide receiver more than a running back.
That's crazy. I wonder what his 80. Well, I guess
feel bad. I should have just taken him.
You should have. After Damian Harris, after James Robinson, are you serious?
That's. Yeah, I would have taken J.K. Dobbins. Well, I would have taken J.K. Dobbins. I almost said I would have taken J.K. Dobbins instead of Elijah Mitchell. Z2. I think they're in the same tier. I've said that a lot, but I didn't say it because I was like, man, if J.K. Dobbins falls to my next pick, what the hell?
Hey, if anybody's actually taking my advice about like writing down names of people who are falling to keep an eye on in your real drafts, maybe Dobbins is worth adding to that list.
Yeah, I would say so.
I don't know if I haven't seen him fall this far. We haven't done any drafts, but I don't know if that's just a fluke or what.
I don't think you're going to see him fall that far.
I don't think so.
95% of drafts, even redraft.
Brandon Cooks over Marquise Brown. That's interesting. How you guys feeling about how are you feeling about Brandon Cooks this season, Josh?
I mean, like when the guy's healthy and on the field, he just produces. Last year was like one of his worst seasons, but he was still like the 20th overall wide receiver. So I don't know. I'm nervous about Houston just as a team, but Brandon Cooks is their best player probably. So right now, I'm fine with it.
Toby, how do you feel about Brandon Cooks? I keep seeing Marquise Brown's name, and I want to say it for some reason.
I don't think Cooks is a Texan by season start.
Really?
In all honesty, they don't have.
He's going to be a Patriot again.
He's going to be something. He's going to move again, but I mean, he's consistent. He's Mike Evans Jr. without the touchdowns. He's consistent on the yards.
I feel like he kind of fell off. He had that really hot start to the season, and then he kind of like fell off. I know the Texans weren't like the pinnacle of consistency or anything. He's a player who I know he's a value. I can't bring myself to draft him this year. I can't bring myself to draft him last year unless it's like ridiculous value. But he's just one of those players. I just can't do it for some reason.
What if Cooks ends up in a Green Bay uniform?
I think
realistically, let's just do it. Where are you drafting it? Like just hot take right now. We haven't had much time to think about this. Let's put him somewhere. Like where do you realistically
later than he's going
probably
here.
Right after Chris Godwin, maybe before Chris Godwin, because Chris Godwin might not start the year healthy. By the way, he might not play the first several weeks, maybe. So maybe be in front of Deontay Johnson, maybe in front of T. Higgins, maybe in front of Jaylen Waddle.
No, not
The
for me.
hype is going to put him here. I'm telling you.
I think it's going to be more. I think it could be. It could be more Randall Cobb than it is. I can't think of
Randall
another
Cobb
example.
was awesome for a couple of years there.
No, I mean this
awesome.
past year, like coming,
Yeah.
like
I don't think it would be. Well, first
I
of all,
don't think
Randall
it would
Cobb
be
and him are different receivers.
yes,
Brandon Cooks is
I'm
an
more so
outsider.
mean like the veteran coming into Green Bay. Obviously, it's different situations, different seasons, different players.
And Randall
Devonte
Cobb
Adams out there.
showed he was spent before he came to Green Bay.
He's
Brandon
older than
Cooks is
Cooks,
showing that he's not spent yet. So paired with one of the better quarterbacks in the league, I don't know. It'd be interesting to see.
I'm being a bit hyperbolic. I'm being like a bit hyperbolic here, but I agree with you, Josh. I don't think I'm as high on him in that situation, but I think that it does. It makes it interesting. I think it would be a trap. If he went to the Packers before the draft, it would be such a fantasy football trap. I feel like. Let's see. All right. Got some comments here. It's in yay. He goes, don't snipe, please. He's sweating that pick. I'm guessing it was
Thielen?
Thielen, maybe.
Wait, was Vincent Ugabuga, right?
Ugabuga, yeah.
Yeah, he was
that
saying
or
that
Garrett
going
Wilson.
into the Thielen pick.
You ever said we weren't nervous about Houston last year? We were.
No, we were. Again, another year with Brandon Cooks as well. Nico Collins, he'll develop another year. He was involved last year. Are the Texans improved from last year? No.
I feel like they're the same, which is the bottom.
Yeah. Jaguars, Texans, whatever.
Tyrod Taylor's not there anymore, right?
Cooks in Green Bay. I like him more than Deontay. Oh, yeah, that's kind of the range we're kind of putting him in.
Yeah.
Or like where we could consider it. I think he's going to be drafted ahead of like maybe DeAndre Hopkins even. Like I'm not saying I would.
I would not. But I could see it too. People get really down on him.
Ooh, Isaiah Spiller, is he too? So are you high on Isaiah Spiller?
I'm not. I wanted Miles Sanders.
Yes.
Right?
I thank you. Yes, let's go.
Out of the turntables.
Yeah. So I think I still think there's three rookie running backs are more or less a tier. Breece Hall separates himself, but they're the top three. They're the top three for me.
I think even after the combine, Kenneth Walker separated himself a little bit from Isaiah Spiller.
I agree. It's going to come down the draft spot, draft locate, not necessarily even the spot they land in, but like where they're drafted in the NFL draft.
Mm-hmm.
If any of these guys are third round picks, it's going to sink them for me a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, I know Antonio Gibson was a third round pick in the NFL draft, but he's a wide receiver turning into a running back.
How often do we get those Antonio Gibsons?
Not
Alvin Kamara was what, third or fourth?
He was third. Yeah. I think he was a third round pick.
I'll never forget that.
I believe he's played a small school though too. So
he played at Alabama for a little bit and then went to and then he was in Tennessee. I was gonna say then he went to a different school.
Yeah, you're right. So not necessarily a small school.
Scott said, "Let me come on and host the draft for you guys." We talked about scheduling you. We got to get Jay on that. We'll get Jay on that.
I mean, I don't think draft capital plays a lot into my notion because we see Rashad Penny, CH, guys like that getting drafted to the back of the first round that just haven't panned out.
But they're still here.
Yeah, right? But they're still here because of the draft capital.
Yeah,
but
that's the thing.
I'd rather have a good running back than someone that's just still here because they got drafted.
I agree with you. So it's a mixture, right? So we have already determined who we think the good running backs are, right? Yeah. And now we just need the verification. We need the NFL to tell us, yep, we agree with you, and we're going to use those running backs like good running backs. So it's a combination of things. It's not like someone I think is completely crappy. He's a back end second round pick. Now I'm going to put him ahead of Isaiah Spiller just because he's a front end third round pick. I'm not necessarily going to do that, but you know what I'm saying? You kind of
What up, Joey?
Hey, I know during this draft, I spilled an entire cup of coffee and got kicked in the head constantly by my 2-year-old daughter. Yeah,
congrats, man.
It's been a blast, but I love my team, so I'm okay with it all.
Let's see. Let me check out your team. Yeah. Deshaun Watson's a little scary though. A little scary, you gotta admit.
That'll be fun.
If he plays, your team is sick all year.
Yeah. Eric, I think he was swooning over our swooning of him for the J.K. Dobbins pick. Right? Where did Dobbins go?
Yeah, number 2. At Fanta.
Oh yeah. I was looking for the blue squares for some reason. He's not a wide receiver. He said wasn't planning on 3 running backs, but couldn't pass him up. I think you made the right move.
No, like I was looking at the draft board and I noticed when J.K. Dobbins was there that every team had at least 2 running backs leading up to me. And I was like, is it going to happen? That's why I was like, don't say J.K. Dobbins, anyone. Don't say it. Elijah Moore, good value. Robert Woods, Darnell Mooney. I like these wide receivers getting drafted right here.
Yep, Darnell Mooney, Robert Woods, Elijah Moore. Would you take Robert Woods over Elijah Moore, Toby?
I think so.
Really?
I think I would.
Even with the injury.
Yeah, even with it, I think they're going to give him the ball.
And Allen Robinson. You mentioned you being concerned about him. Am I talking you off it?
Maybe a little bit.
He's like, well, now you just mention it.
Yeah. I was listening to you.
Oh, Z2 with the snipe. It's official. It happened. But I did have another player. I was I was hoping to get both of these guys, but there's another player I'm pretty high on going into next season.
Juju, is that the player?
No, I drafted someone else. Not joking. It is
I'm just talking about somebody else.
Cortland Sutton, I think both these guys upside. Juju Smith-Schuster and Cortland Sutton's through the roof. If everything goes perfect for these guys, we can find them being top 10, number 1 wide receiver options at the end of the year for fantasy football.
Yeah,
that's their upside, not what I project.
Yeah. NBA Ray Dash and Josh.
Yes.
Baker is suspended for 68 games.
Well, not Baker. Watson, right?
Well, yeah. I was gonna say, is that a thing? Is that
Wouldn't that be
is that a concern? Or just like a crazy hypothetical? Baker eats spaghetti on a Tuesday. Wouldn't your wide receiver 2, Cooper, be way down in value? They don't have good backup QB. Case Keenum, I believe. Is he still there?
Yeah. I think it is. There's someone else signed Case Keenum.
Keenum got traded.
Yeah. He did.
I'll look up
They signed Jacoby Brissett, I'm pretty sure.
Really? That's actually
yeah. You're right. They did sign Brissett a couple days after.
That's actually kind of bad. Jacoby Brissett could not support T.Y. Hilton on the Colts back in the day. But they had a bad offense, just in general, bad offensive line. When it comes down to it, Amari Cooper is a very, very talented wide receiver. He's not necessarily old, and he just produces. I know this would be the worst quarterback situation he's had in his entire career. He had Derek Carr, and then he had Dak Prescott. But I mean, I think he's still going to be a top 30 wide receiver for sure, even without Deshaun Watson. So I'm fine with it. And with Watson, much higher, in my opinion.
Joey, are you up on Amari Cooper from last season?
Real fast, guys, can I just mention this? Like in 2020, he played without Dak Prescott most of the year, and he still ended up being the wide receiver 15 in PPR.
Cooper Rush and who's the other?
Andy
Dalton.
Yeah.
Andy Dalton.
Yeah, mostly Andy Dalton.
I don't even know if Cooper Rush was there yet.
I think Cooper Rush. No.
Might have come the year after.
Oh, wait. Am I on the clock? Oh.
Yep. And you sniped Vincent Josh with the Juju
pick. I did.
He says, no, the snipe. Wow. Okay.
I love it.
Cam Akers, top 5 running back.
Wouldn't it be crazy if that's what he sounded like? I don't think
that would be crazy. I would feel bad, I guess. NBA saying Hopkins plus Waddle plus Mike Williams. What do you guys think? Is that one side of the trade?
That's his team, I think.
Oh, okay. That makes more sense. What do you guys think? What do you think of this, Joey? Hopkins, Waddle, and Mike Williams.
Is that beeping for me? 4. Oh, no. All right, sorry. Is it crazy that heading into next year I like Waddle and Williams more than Hopkins?
No.
Yeah. No, I like the fact that in my mind right now, they look at the rankings. Hopkins might be your wide receiver 3, and that's your core. I like that core.
I don't think you're crazy saying Waddle over Hopkins, but Mike Williams or Hopkins, that's a little too much for me.
I could see the argument being made. It's too much for me too, but I could see.
Go to the board. Put it up. Let's go.
Put it on the board? I didn't
put it on the board.
That's going to be sitting on the board for like a year.
Yes, and let's do it. I will take Mike Williams. You take Hopkins.
This is like a interior design choice for you, Josh, because this is how your room's gonna look for the next year.
Because they're close, but like
My marker's like hidden.
No, I don't think Hopkins is washed. I'm saying I like Waddle and I like Williams a lot next year. Next year, not Dynasty, just next year.
I'm find a way to put this on the board.
Even with Hill coming in Miami, I'm still pretty high on Waddle.
I like Hopkins a lot. I've been, obviously he's a Clemson guy. I've followed his entire career.
You like Hopkins?
I like Hopkins. I've liked Hopkins forever, but I'm concerned about the volume. The volume before he got injured this past season, it wasn't there. It was different than it was before. And so which DeAndre Hopkins are we going to get? It's not even necessarily him. Which maybe Kyler are we going to get? Or, what's the realistic volume that we can expect for Hopkins? Because I'm going to tell you guys, if he doesn't get that volume that we kind of expect, that we've seen like last few years, is going to be disappointing.
I like the points you're making about DeAndre Hopkins, but check out Mike Williams' stats from last year. And tell me how that makes you feel.
Yes. I am not making the point that Mike Williams, that is why Mike Williams is better. Definitely agree with you, Josh. We need to see some consistent. I could
see this going either way, to be completely honest. It's not like I'm saying this is obviously it's not 100%, but I'm still pretty confident.
Yeah. And this is Vincent sounds like a whale. Yeah. You heard me.
Joey or no?
What'd you say, buddy?
PPR or half PPR? I'm good with whatever.
Let's go half PPR. Let's go down the middle. I mean, I don't think people should play in standard leagues, but
I mean, there could be a whole new scoring format by the time that this bet gets settled.
I had a suggestion that was shot down for the FYF league, but
all right, 2022 half PPR. Josh has DeAndre Hopkins. Joey has Mike Williams.
All right.
Josh, I think we need to build up a bank of these, and then see how many we have.
I'm all about it, man.
Yeah.
It just at the end of the year, like I have 30, you have 1. That's probably how.
And Scott talking about Cooper, he gets very little separation. He's a precise route runner. Cooper Kupp, right? So he's talking about. It's a
probably bit along Amari Cooper.
Amari Cooper, yes, yeah, that makes more sense.
I mean, he's fast.
Jurassic Park 40 says, Craig's. Joey, what did you do to me?
That's not cool.
Wait, what did you do?
Do we see the picture? It's Michael Keaton as Batman.
Oh, I didn't see it.
Oh,
shit.
Not cool.
Good Cordell Patterson pick. I probably would have picked him next.
My wife tells me that on Saturday night, I woke up screaming Michael Keaton. I don't know if that's true or not, but I'm still having flashbacks from Friday.
So Sebro came in and said, I noticed Trevor. I don't know if you guys mentioned this. I hope you didn't. I noticed Trevor Lawrence went so late. I currently have an offer in my Superflex League for the 101 for Trevor Lawrence. Would you guys do it? He said, oh, this is redraft, but I figured we could still probably help him with this question, right?
How is there a 101 redraft?
Well, he said he was like, oh, this is a redraft. He said, I noticed Trevor Lawrence is going so late in this draft. So we
still talk.
We can still answer his question. This is a Dynasty League. Yeah. So the 101, it's a Superflex League. The best quarterback you're going to get is, in my opinion, Malik Willis. But it's Breece Hall. Breece Hall is a running back that you're going to see going 101 a lot of the time. I'd rather have Trevor Lawrence than 101.
I would too. I was really happy with where Lawrence, because I got him too. So it was between Tua and Lawrence for me. And I was really happy to get Lawrence. I think he's going to have a bounce back year.
He's going to make Christian Kirk worth the $21 million.
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
Christian Kirk is this year's Cooper Kupp. Mark it down. Lock it in.
Josh wearing board shorts. I forgot I was wearing these shorts. These shorts are so dumb. I was like, they'll never be on the stream.
Shorts are so dumb.
They'll never be on the stream, but they're Maryland. They got like a Maryland crab on it.
That's so Maryland of you, bro.
Like, it's so Maryland, dude. I never wear these. If you don't know,
it's like a cultural thing, like a cult thing. Everyone's just obsessed with the Maryland flag.
Oh yeah.
It's super lax, bro.
We chill. We chill hardcore.
We chill. Tim saying, I'll queen bee that bet. They finish exactly the same next season. Fractional scoring. Fractional scoring.
Yeah. Tim, queen bee. I have no idea who to pick here, guys.
Dame goes sniped.
Oh, this is an easy pick. Gronk shouldn't be here anymore.
Gronkowski. Do we know if he's for sure coming back?
No, we don't.
He said 50-50, but if it has to be for a team, it's for the Bucks.
Yeah. I think he's back. I'd bet money on it, but obviously that means
kind of weird how that all went down.
Well, he didn't show up at WrestleMania, so I would say he's coming back.
Mark said, "Those are dope, Josh. Own it."
Thank you. I do love them, but I never wear them in public.
Josh, buy your own shorts.
I own them, man. I own them.
Mrs. Scammer, imagine telling 2020 you that someone sniped Cordero.
Dude, I was like, when Cordero Patterson had his first game, I was like, guys, it's not real. Don't believe it. He had the second one. I was like, well, pick him up, like it might be something. I picked him up a couple Dynasty leagues for like nothing. And then the third game, you're like, oh, this is a trend now, guys. You got to pick him up.
Mm-hmm.
Fourth game, fifth game, sixth game. It's like, okay, Cordero, you got it. You're cool.
Josh, you got a question for you from Swamp. Yes. Said, what's your opinion on my team so far?
Let's check it out.
Third position.
Ooh.
Jonathan Taylor, Joe Mixon, Josh Jacobs.
This is one of my favorite teams I've seen you draft in a while.
Yeah.
I think, this seems sick.
I feel like you executed pretty well in the punting QB and Superflex strategy here. I would have loved to Jameis worries me. I would have loved to see like maybe going back to like Tua, excellent pick. Like that's exactly how like Tua is like a perfect player for that strategy. I would have loved to see you get a second guy right around that same time, or either right after Tua, instead of maybe Robert Woods or Zach Ertz.
You need to take a quarterback with your last pick, in my opinion.
Yeah.
You need to, in my opinion.
This said, Josh, you're killing me. I had my finger on the plus.
Wait, did I snipe him?
Yeah, Gronk.
With Gronk?
Yeah.
Got you, man.
I like Puga's pick better than Gronk.
Really?
Yeah.
In Dynasty, I absolutely would. There's no doubt in my mind. In Dynasty, it's Pat Freiermuth over Gronk all day. It's not even a question.
Sorry, I meant to say I like saying his pick more than.
Oh, Pat Freiermuth.
Okay. Figured that was coming.
I wanted to have that conversation with you actually. I wanted to be like, really? That's surprising. I mean, if you don't think Gronk's going to play, then sure,
If I would have known Pat Freiermuth was going to be there, I would have passed on Gesicki and taken another receiver.
Yeah, I think that would have worked
but
out.
You don't know these things. But I got like the value he got on Freiermuth because that's. Yep.
Matt, what's going on, Matt? He says, other than Lawrence, which QBs from the 21 class would you trade for the 22 101? So essentially Bryce Hall or you said Malik is the favorite right now. Superflex.
Yeah. Malik. Yeah, Malik Willis is definitely the 101, or not the first quarterback.
So we can just go down the line: Trey Lance or the 101.
No, I'm just doing this because I can't even. I haven't had enough time to look through it. But Devonte
I could have paused it.
The news. No, we're all good. The news just came out with Devante Parker. He's got a lot more upside now.
The news of his trade.
Yes.
Okay. I was like, did something happen?
No. He's on the Patriots now. In case anyone doesn't know.
Yes.
Oh, Eric, yes. Old Bay, yes. I'm sorry if you were about to say something else. I just saw that.
Yeah, we love our Old Bay here. So Matt's question about which QBs from this past year, which rookie QBs would you trade for the 22 101? So Trey Lance or the 101, Josh, which would you take?
QBs from the 21 class would you trade for the 22 101? To be completely honest, I have Justin Fields, Trey Lance, and Trevor Lawrence all ranked above every rookie coming out of the draft at the moment. So I would trade
those three
Zach Wilson and Mac Jones, and Davis Mills and Kyle Trask and Kellen Mond. Look, I can't believe I'm pulling these names still.
Z2, what do you think? Are there any of the QBs that
I agree with Josh, what he just said.
So not the top three.
Not the top three, but
I would, yeah. I'm with Josh then too.
But are you getting the 22 101 for Zach Wilson or Mac Jones?
No, that was why I was confused at first. Because I think
you might.
It's kind of weird where like the top three guys are too high and that everybody else is too low.
You might. I not in leagues I've seen, but I could see someone out there being like, "Hey, Zach Wilson and was drafted ahead of any quarterback's going to be drafted in the NFL draft this year, and Mac Jones just had one of the better rookie quarterback seasons we've seen recently. So maybe."
If Tyreek Hill would have went to the Jets, you could have got the 101 for Zach Wilson.
Yes, I agree with you.
I would have done it. I would have pulled the trigger. Come here and asking, do you like my team, JL? You were drafting from the 6th spot, I believe. I think. guessing you're Jones Karen. I really like your team for redraft. I think it's a really good redraft team.
Oh, Jones Karen means that he was telling us his name. I didn't even get that earlier. Sorry.
Jones. Oh. Okay, that makes sense. Well, that's on you. Come here now, BJ, because you always come in just throwing Karen into a random sentence. So it's your fault. We're confused. Yeah, I really do like your team. I think the wide receivers are solid. Your running backs, I think, is where your team shines. I love Derrick Henry, Javonte Williams, James Conner, and Michael Carter in redraft. Really well done. Really well done. Similar situation to Swamp with QBs there.
The two teams that really punted.
Yeah, but I like those two QBs if you're going to punt, so I'm okay with it.
I wish you took a third one. To be completely honest.
Yeah.
Like when you're punting, I know there'd be more probably more picks. It's a redraft, so maybe not. But I like coming away from my Superflex leagues, especially if I'm punting on the quarterback with 3. If I have top tier ones, you don't necessarily need to.
Yeah.
This was fun.
Yeah. So we knocked out this draft and said thought about going Marlon Mack just for the laughs, just for the goofs, just for the gags.
Why'd you change his voice?
Oh yeah, it's cute.
I like your team.
Trying to ho 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 ho. Thought about going Marlon Mack for the laughs.
You did.
I did draft
running back like every other pick. Not actually, but I was just like, look at that.
For Scott, or I'm sorry, Vincent.
No, I was talking about Z2. I like Z2's team.
Z2. I'm just looking at your team now. Yeah, man, some of you guys nailed running back in this. Really good blend of like
I did
upside guys and downside guys.
Well, I'm not saying I didn't nail it, but I would say if there's a position I punted, it was absolutely running back. A hybrid 0 running back strategy, right? How about that?
Yeah.
Where's Josh's team? I like Josh. I like Josh's team.
He's the cucumber.
I should know that like the back of my hand.
I would have loved my team a lot more if I got Miles Sanders where I got Spiller.
I like getting Miles Sanders there. I know people are kind of out on him with Dynasty, but I think he's got at least one.
We talked during the show the Eagles offense just runs the ball.
Just run the ball.
And he's the running back.
Scott has a question for us before we wrap up here. It said in standard redraft. So you say standard, I'm going to assume you mean non-PPR. Is Jonathan Taylor your 101 or is it someone else? What do you think, Joey?
It's Jonathan Taylor.
Oh, go ahead, Josh. No, go ahead.
No, I'm just answering. Jonathan Taylor.
Anybody else not going Jonathan Taylor? No.
Nope.
Yeah. It's Jonathan Taylor.
If you can get a pick before the 101, get Jonathan Taylor there. If that's possible.
100, yes.
Yeah.
In a dynasty league, if you want to consider in non-superflex going with Jamar Chase or Justin Jefferson, that's fine. But in redraft, I'm taking Jonathan Taylor.
Absolutely.
Eric says, say something mean about my team. I mean,
where's Eric?
Team logo.
That's actually fun. That picture right there.
It's pretty distracting.
Say something mean about your team.
Who's going to throw the ball to all your wide receivers?
Yeah.
Actually, Eric's got a really fucking get you out.
Yeah, really
good.
Good
he said to say something mean.
This is one of the better teams in the league.
Davis Mills is a stupid pick.
Yeah.
Dalton Schultz was a steal. J.K. Dobbins a steal. Antonio Gibson solid value.
I think you might have my favorite team. I mean, Justin Fields as your QB2 is like a little concerning.
Yeah,
Superflex, just because he might not right out the gate perform, but I think you can easily make tweaks to this team and fix that.
How would you feel about his team if you replace Fields with Tua?
I think Jay would like it probably.
I would like it a little bit more in redraft. Yes, I would. But it's not like a crazy jump,
They're in the same tier for me in redraft, especially.
But he said to say something mean.
I still okay.
I hope your team
Alvin Kamara could get suspended next year, and then that's just such what an idiot pick. Picking him in the second round. What an idiot! You idiot.
Deebo Samuel. Psh. That's all I got. That's all I got.
Pick. I mean, DK Metcalf doesn't have a quarterback right now.
You're
gonna take a fourth.
I like Schultz a lot.
I think you might have my favorite team, Eric.
Eric, you did a really good job. I don't know if you intended this, but it's hard to say something bad about your team.
Yeah. And Calvin said thoughts on the draft from the 12 spot.
Yeah, real fast. I think we could sum this up, and we'll probably get out of here. The 2 starting quarterbacks, Cam Akers. that's fine. Like, I'm seeing the running backs go above him. If you want to take him there, that's fine with me. Your wide receivers are a little scary when it comes down to it, but the rest of your team is really good at every position.
It's funny. I read this as like just the generic 12 spot, like not necessarily in this draft. And so I thought the question was different. And then you started answering it that way. I was like, oh, okay. I guess that makes sense too. But yeah, if you're asking from like just the 12 spot in general, I like that spot.
Oh yeah.
All right.
All right,
boys.
So we're getting out of here. We're all done. Everyone go follow Z2 Fantasy.
Yes.
He's on Twitter at Z2 Fantasy. He's man. Z2, thank you for joining us in this draft. This was a fun one, man. I hope you had a good time.
I appreciate y'all having me.
Yeah.
I have to come back to get my revenge on Josh once again.
Yeah. I was going to say,
we're going to have you back on the game sometime. Yeah. No, but we got to have you back on the game sometime.
There's an animal behind you. There's an animal behind you that burst through your wall.
Oh, I was like, is it joking?
I did not see that. Oh yeah. It's like, I don't get that joke.
But we're here live streaming every weekday, Monday through Friday, 3:00 p.m. Eastern time. Come on, hit that like button, subscribe to Front Yard Fantasy. We're having a good time every day.
Share with your
moms.
We're
be back tomorrow. Yeah, share with your moms. If you like us, we like you. We like your moms. We like everyone. I'm gonna stop talking. I'm digging a hole here.
Add that to the quotes list for the newsletter.
Yes.
Trading makes fantasy fun. Remember that, people.
Yes.
Have a great day. I love you.
Bye. See you tomorrow.
Peace.